Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Oh,
no.
I'm very proud to be in Washington, D.C., representing South Carolina at the America 250 event today. So again, I thank Tyler. I want to get you on that slide, Tyler. Sorry about that. But thanks, everybody, for joining us today. Do y'all have any questions for me?
Well, the first one I had is I wanted to go back to what you just showed the slide on the National Park Service and the woman I should talk to there, Virginia. Who was that?
Harness. Virginia
Harm?
Harness. And then we can send you, I can send you a follow-up email with her content and introduce you to her. She's awesome. She'll help you with the National Register application if that's something you're interested in. And
Yeah,
once you
and
have,
a registered piece, but I have more to deal with, perhaps. That's why I wanted to talk to her about that. So, a
she's
grant,
great.
maybe. So we'll see. Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just had another session with the National Park Service here at this convening that I'm at. So if it is on the National Register, they have lots of money to give away. So this is a lot of potential, and their time frame goes all the way up to 1800. So they have a little broader time period to look at than we do for our grant.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I
Anybody
have
else?
a question.
Yes,
I have
ma'am.
a
Ms. Brown.
question.
How are
Good
you?
morning. I'm fine. How's everyone? In the statement about interpretation and review by South Carolina 250, is that in addition to the grantees peer review group that's stated within the application?
So if you have your own peer reviewers, that's wonderful. You can, have your own people review it. The
Uh-huh.
the final deliverables, and I know that yours are a little tweaked a little bit because you're just doing the research side, not the publication side. But
Mhm.
the final review before like posting it online or anything like that would need to go through SC 250. And the same for interpretation. And I know MEPC and y'all are waiting on me. I have that back from them. As soon as I get back to the office, I'll get you your notes from our peer reviewers. So
Okay.
thank you, everybody.
Heather,
Thank you.
that kind of along with that, when you said make sure that you add extra time. So if we're doing an interpretive sign and we have, what's going to go on the sign and we submit it to you,
Yes.
how long can we, how much time, just a ballpark
I'll
about how much
try.
time do you think we need to add to our schedule for that?
That's a great question. And we are working on speeding that process up a little bit and having somebody else monitor that who's with the publicity committee. As soon as we can get the Francis Marion papers done, that person's going to take over some of those duties. But we do often rely on some volunteer peer reviewers who are experts in these specific topics. So, we're having a Sumter exhibit. We're having the people who are looking at the Sumter papers are going through and proofing that exhibit at the Sumter Museum. So it depends on the reviewer often. I would say give us at least 2 weeks, if not a month, to get it back to you. I'm so sorry right now. Okay,
No,
I try my
I
best.
mean, we just kind of need to know what's
Yeah.
what.
Yep. Thank you for the question. And we're trying to facilitate that to make it faster. Hi,
Hi.
Leanne.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to go ahead, Greg?
No, go ahead. I'll go
I
ahead.
apologize. I did not get the link in time, so I don't know if this was stated earlier. It's really two questions. I know I'm applying for one of the new grant things, and more the marketing. Are those qualifications listed up there yet? And also, it says it's August 1st. When do they open though, so we can start applying?
Great question. So we're having an executive committee meeting tomorrow for the commission, and that'll be when we kind of officially approve any new rules for the new fiscal year.
Okay.
So my goal is by Monday, we're back open and live.
Okay.
I know that doesn't give you a lot of time before August 1st. What you can do, because we are tweaking some of our types. It doesn't, we're keeping monthly and major and premier as the funding opportunities based on the amount you're requesting. They like that new system, so we're going to keep that. But the grant types that give you the specifics of what they're looking for, we're tweaking those just a little bit. And
Right.
marketing is one of them. We're taking the historic asset assessment and historic tourism type that was originally designed just for County 250s. We're making that more of a historic marketing type.
Okay.
So we used to put all marketing and local activities grants, and we're really seeing a lot of people need marketing. So we're going to move that to that, and it'll have similar requirements to the local activities. You can go ahead and start working on your narrative and things like that. Not much has changed on the narrative. If you want to, you can still find some of those pages. If you click directly on the grants page, you can eventually find your way to the local activities grant. And at the very bottom, you could actually download a Word version. I'll also send a follow-up to this call that will give you some information. And if you get the e-news, if you don't get the e-news, you probably won't get a notification. But if you already get our e-news, you should get a notification of when the system goes live again.
Okay, so that information, just, I'm sorry, make sure I'm clear, is
Yeah.
I go under the grants and then I look for local activities, and that should give me a kind of a template. I mean, there'll be some minor changes, but I can jump on it ahead then. Is that correct?
Let me see if I can share my window here. Let's see. Okay, let's see if I can hide everything on my laptop. All right, so if you go to our website, southcarolina250.com, SC250 grants, and then if you hover over fiscal year 24 grant programs and you click directly on that, then you can scroll down and you'll see the different types of opportunities here, the types of competitive grants. So you can go to local activity grants or really any of these and click on learn more and apply.
Okay.
This page is still up. I just kind of have it hidden for right now.
Okay.
So it's not in the drop down, but if you go there, you can find it. And if you go all the way to the bottom, then you can find your Word document with paper version. Now you cannot submit with a paper version, but you can use this version. Let me see if I can get it to open real quickly. And it has it has all the information that you're going to be asked, and gives you can write and then cut and paste back into the system.
Okay.
So, and just remember, if you have another grant already, let's see, stop sharing. If you have another grant already in the system, make sure you're copying so that some of your things carry over, and just make sure you're checking for any updates you need to make.
Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Sure. Yeah. And Greg, you had a question? Yeah.
Yeah, Heather, once the final report is made, is there an average amount of time when the final payment should be received? And if it goes past that time, how do we know that perhaps something wasn't done correctly in the final report?
Good question. And I know you're one of the ones, bless you, who had to wait quite a long time for me. One of my challenges with now 166 applications that we're processing and trying to find reports for and do all the other duties like go to Washington has been figuring out the best time to do those reports. To review those final reports. And I apologize for those of you who are waiting. We've been talking about ways to speed that up as well. If you don't hear from me within a month, please reach out to me as you did, which you should do. So always reach out to me if you haven't heard anything.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
I want to ask another question about, so if you have a project that's going to be several components, you know, like we're doing all these interpretive signs at these 5 different places in Dillon County. That's the plan. So anyway, is it better to just group those and go for one of those larger grants, or to do these individually?
Yeah, that's a great question, Pat. And I'm glad to hear y'all are doing more than just Ruse's Bridge or
Rouse's
Ferry.
Ferry, yeah.
Rouse's
Yeah,
Ferry.
we're
Okay,
gonna do 5.
okay, good. Yeah, so I think, this is only me seeing what gets approved. I feel that they appreciate not having the same organization come up over and over and over and over and over again. I think that it is appropriate to kind of bundle.
Okay.
So now,
Well, it'd be easier than filling out, even if you can copy them,
yes,
it's easier than filling out 5
sometimes you can get a deal
applications.
from the company too if you're buying multiple interpretive signs at once. You also, now if you can keep it under 15 is great, because then it can be a review within a month, unless there's any due diligence questions that come up. So that's great. Major grants do have to, if you can keep it under 50, it can be approved by the executive committee, but I never know when they're going to have one of those meetings. So we always want to leave plenty of room if you're doing a major grant.
Okay, so the bottom line is bundle it together.
Bundle it together. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
All right. Any other questions? Yes, sir. Father Joe.
Two, just a clarification for myself, fiscal agent, I'm the fiscal agent. Is that?
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
We're
right.
very unique in that you are both the grantee that's doing the project and the person handling the money. You're the same entity. Most of our County 250 committees do not handle their own finances. They have a partner. So and then when I say fiscal agent, I mean agency usually, and then there's a fiscal agency contact. So a lot of times we have counties, like in Lee County and Dillon County and those places there, y'all are using your county as your fiscal agency, but you're representing the county 250 groups doing the work. But Mepkin Abbey, y'all are just on it. Y'all can handle everything.
Another question, I just need clarification.
Yes, sir.
The question of ads, or I wasn't sure what all that meant. Newspaper.
Marketing.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay, that's okay. That what it was.
So any kind of publicity that you do, which is wonderful to help promote, people coming. We know people are going to want to come see John Lawrence's, site and Henry Lawrence's site there. So we want to be doing some marketing, or people are not going to know to come even when you have it freshly ready for visitors. So that's where you
understand that more clearly. Thank you. Yeah.
Sure. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Everybody else good? How's the military museum? Hey, Chris.
Hello. Great to see you.
Yeah.
Very, very minor question. For the initial check that we have, do we have 90 days to deposit it, or is it a shorter time period?
I never thought about that. So you received your check.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you can I would deposit it right away. I don't see, is there a reason you want to hold it, or?
The director asked me to ask that question, and that is that.
That's a question for the state treasurer, how quickly, in your bank, how quickly, how long they will accept a check from the state and how long it is valid.
Then.
I know a lot of you have direct deposit, but that's a question for the state treasurer. I can look into it and find out for you. I don't know the answer to that.
Well,
Tyler, you might know. Tyler, do you know how long?
No, I have no idea.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? All right. Well, you know where to find me. Usually I'll be back in South Carolina to this evening, so I'll be sending out a follow-up email. It'll probably be Monday, but I'll get it out to you, and hopefully we'll announce that we've relaunched the system for the 25 fiscal year. So thank you guys for all the good work you're doing across the state and getting this done, getting some new assets out there. And we look forward to coming and hearing all the war music and reading about the brave Kate Berry and all the things that are going on across the state. So, all right. Bye, guys.